Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is myself Hassan Raza, Director Muawani Ujala is here. Uh, so now we formally begin this session. Uh, I will call the Varisha Batul, the host of this session. Host Varisha, please kindly start the session. Varisha.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Varisha Batul, Ambassador Marvin KMC and second year MBBS student at Khyber Medical College, Peshawar. On behalf of Marvin, I warmly welcome all the respected participants to today's webinar organized in recognition of International Women's Day. At Marvin, we believe in empowering communities, supporting youth, and creating spaces where individuals, especially women, can grow, lead, and contribute positively to society. Today's session is a reminder of the strength, resilience, and invaluable role women play in shaping families, communities, and the future. Islam beautifully emphasizes dignity and respect for women. As the Quran reminds us, indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. This verse highlights that honor and value in Islam are based on character and righteousness, not gender. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also said, "The best of you are those who are best to their women." These teachings remind us that compassion, respect, and justice toward women are fundamental values in Islam. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker, Ayesha Farooq. Ayesha Farooq is a law student at the University of Peshawar and a passionate advocate for child protection, women's rights, and youth leadership with over 5 years of grassroots experience. She has worked with organizations such as UNICEF, Al Khidmat Foundation, Behbood Association, and Safe Futures NGO, leading community dialogues, organizing child protection workshops, and empowering women through legal awareness and advocacy. She has also presented youth internationally as a delegate at the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Youth Conference in Doha. With that, she has also been the part of United Nations Development Programme Human Rights Defenders Training at the Global Campus of Human Rights in Venice. Her work reflects a strong commitment to ensuring that every child has protection, every woman has dignity, and every young person has the opportunity to lead and create positive change in society. Please join me in warmly welcoming our speaker, Ayesha Farooq. So, without taking much more time, I would like to invite Ayesha Farooq to kindly begin the session and share her valuable insights with us. Ayesha Farooq, now the stage is towards you.
Thank you so much, Varisha. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, you are audible.
Let me
Yes, you are audible.
first share my screen. Am my screen visible to you all? Is my screen visible?
No, Aisha, your screen is not visible until now.
Okay.
Can you share once?
Is
Uh,
it visible now?
yes, now visible.
Okay. Sure. Assalamu alaikum everyone, and thank you so much Varisha for such a great introduction. Thank you, and thank you Hassan and Priya for arranging a seminar. I think this is in need of time, and we should always arrange such webinars and seminars for interaction. So, first of all, you all have already known about me, so let's formally start our webinar. So, today we are not going to talk about something that is just a policy issue or a set of statistics, but we are going to talk about the air that half of our population breathes. Today's conversation is about the rights, respect, and recognition for women in Pakistan. So, before we dive into the numbers and laws, let's build a foundation. Why did I choose these three words: rights, respect, and recognition? Why not just rights? Because imagine this: rights without respect are just words on paper and empty laws that nobody follows. So, right without respect is nothing. And rights, respect without rights leaves you vulnerable. People might say they respect you, but if a crisis hits, you have no legal protection to fall back on. And recognition exists, but you are invisible. Your work, your struggle, your potential, nobody sees it. So today's we ask, where does Pakistan stands on this triangle? So I will just explain that why I select this theme: rights, respect, and recognition. These are the connected terms and they just guides our daily life. So let's take a moment to look on this image where we stand at Pakistani nation, where we stand in empowering women, in supporting gender equality, where we stand. So take a moment to look at this image that I have shared and I have put some data in this. Take a moment to look at this image. Behind every single one of these numbers, believe me, there behind this, just you will see this 22%, the 22 million, the 2000 is the women with dreams, struggles, and potential. She's someone's mother, someone's sister, someone's daughter. So let's meet her through this data. This is not just a data. When we say 21% women versus 80% men, it means that in the that in the political field, in all the fields, we are 22%, and we have about 52% of our population consisting of women, which means we are depriving the rights, we are taking the rights of about 52% of our population. So there's a huge gap. So let's start with power. Every time when I say in almost all in my work as well, I always focus on the political mobilization of women, as I have mentioned in my portfolio as well. So why I mentioned that women should be in decision making, women should be in power, women should be in politics in every field where they are. They can be the CEOs, they can be the founders. Why I mentioned that? Because when women are in the decision making room, when women are the decision tables, they take such a decision where they include every gender, where they knew the problems facing by the women. So where are women in the rooms where decisions are made? This is a question. Where are the women in the rooms where 90-100% decisions of our country are made? Right now, I have mentioned this data. Right now, we have 22.2% representation in the National Assembly and 70% in the Senate. And yes, this representation has led to
Hello,
bills being
Aisha.
introduced for women. That's progress. I know that's progress. But is it enough? Let's consider, is it enough? We have 22%.
Aisha, your screen is stuck.
Is it enough?
Are you changing the
22.2.
slides?
Uh, I'm not hearing what you want to say.
Kindly present it the slideshow and then you, so that it is visible to all the participants.
Am my slides not visible? Do you people?
Yes, now it is going
Is
on.
it visible? Is visible? Oh, sorry for the inconvenience. Okay. So we were talking about that we have just 22.2% representation in the National Assembly. So is it fair? We have about 52%, which means we have more than 50% of our population that are women, but still we have so less representation. And yet, and 70% of our population is women. So how can we ensure that
Aisha, your voice is not coming.
in the parliament, and basically we need to restore that 33% quota in our local body as well. Why we need this and why we demand this? Because change doesn't happen while sitting there in Islamabad. It happens in our village, it happens in our houses, it happens in our local communities, it happens in our neighborhoods. We need women at the table where the decisions about the daily lives, about their daily lives are made. So we need women at the decision table. So, okay. Now, let me talk about the rights to education. You all will be know about the Article 225A of our Constitution. So I will put that article in this
Aisha, your voice is again low and not
they are
coming.
out of schools. Now let me ask you a question. If a family has a limited budget and has to choose who stays home, who will stay home? Either their son or their daughter. Obviously, their daughter, they will choose the girl to stay home. And why is that? It's a mix of things. We hear it all the time. लड़कियों को पढ़कर क्या करना है? You know, लड़कियां पढ़कर क्या करेगी? What will a girl do with an education? That's the cultural norm. We have mother, fathers that are terrified to send their daughters to school because of the harassment on the way. The journey, they say the journey is not the safe. And we will talk about that. How can we empower our women? So there is poverty. A child's hands are needed to work or to care for younger siblings so parents can work. And sometimes there are no female teachers, especially in rural areas. If teacher is a man, the family won't send her. So that's a big issue. You can see here nowadays in Afghanistan, they are totally denying the rise to job of women. So how can they? Most of the women are dying due to due to non-presence of the female doctors. So that's what's happening there. So what's the consequence of this? An uneducated girl, when she grow up to become a mother, if that mother cannot read or write, how can she advocate for her own daughter's education? How can she help her with homework or in life decisions? The cycle of poverty continues generation after generation. And we are not just losing a student, we are losing a future advocate of an entire family, because women are the one that make the families, is men are the bread earner. And nowadays you can see we have such great, like, the most of the time the males are busy in earning money and everything, so the women are the one, along with their jobs, they are running their homes as well, and they are doing it really great. Okay. So here I have included another important concern, the right to inheritance. And this is just, I just personally I wanted to include that in it. So let's move to that right, one that is divinely given, that Allah Almighty has given to women. In Islam, the rights of women to inheritance are truly clear. They're fixed here. It's not a request, it's an order. It's not a request that either she will gain that right or she will not get that right. She will definitely get that right. It's a right. But what's the reality? Millions of women are denied of this right. Millions of women. And most of them, when they ask about their right, they are just killed. And these cases are too prevalent nowadays. You can see most of them, their brothers call them to home and they kill them just because they want to, they want their inheritance. And we see practices that used to rob them. That's जिसमें हम कहते हैं हक बख्शवाना, जिसमें they force them to give up their share. मेरी कुरान मैरिजेस जिसको होते हैं, मोस्टली इट हैपेंस इन द बलोचिस्तान साइड. हमारे पठानों में भी ये है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा कम है यहाँ पर. लेकिन ये जो बलोचिस्तान साइड है ना, दैट्स टू प्रिवेलेंट. They do Quran marriages, Billah. That's marrying them to Quran to keep them, basically to keep property in their family. And cousin marriages designed just to keep wealth within the main line. But here's a good news, and I want to tell you people that it's just to you, for you people, so that you know that we have, in 2011 the law has changed, that depriving women of inheritance is now a crime. That's definitely thanks to Allah Almighty, that and thanks to our constitution, that is not considered as a crime. And the punishment is about 5 to 10 years in the prison or a fine of 1 million rupees. The law is there. Now the fight is to make sure it's enforced. The law is there, but the women should know that they have the law protecting them, so that they can ask for their rights. Okay. Now we will talk about another important thing that I want to mention here, that is the violence against women on this International Day. This is the hardest part of our conversation, definitely. It's really hardest part of our conversation, but I will definitely tell you people and brief you on this. Reported cases of violence has increased by 13%. Now that sounds really crazy, but sometimes an increase in reporting means women are finally speaking up. But the numbers are still devastating. That is really big ratio. Between 2000 and 2010, 8 and 2010, over 2,000 women were killed in the name of honor. And and let me tell you, this is just a very really hard reality. But let me tell you who commits these crimes. Look closely. It's not a stranger. Like definitely, most of they are strangers, but the the most hard number is, yeah, the greater number is, they're basically, it's not an outsider. It's their brother, their husband, their father, the very people, the very people, they most of the time they're teachers as well, the very people that are meant to protect her, that are meant to protect the woman, they are doing these things. And for years, these convicts, these criminals, they walked freely because of the legal loopholes. And the reality is that for every case reported, doesn't go unreported. Women suffer in silence, believing they have no options. Our support structure for them are severely lacking. We must ask ourselves where the safe space for her to run to. And And friends, uh, I need to pause for a moment because this is not just a history. This is happening right now. Just about, I think, 12 days ago, if I'm not wrong, this is happening. Just about 12 days ago, yes, on 24th Feb, a woman doctor in Kohart, Dr. Mavish Hasnain, was murdered. She was leaving the hospital after her shift, going home when she was shot multiple times by a woman, by men she had confronted earlier. Do you know what her crime was? She just asked him to leave the space reserved from women patients. She was protecting the space of other women, and for that, she was killed. The image really breaks my heart every time I sees it. This silence is the loudest scream. We have to break this silence. But it's not all darkness. There have been some progress as well, and this is the good news that there has been some bit progress. We will like there is a good news. So there has been a progress. We have a national commission on the status of women, that is autonomous body monitoring rights. uh, the Workplace Harassment Act is a landmark law that protects women from sexual harassment at work. So if you face harassment at your job, know that this law exists to protect it. You can challenge that person with the court. And there are laws that criminalize forced marriages and inheritance deprivation as well. So you have the laws, but our women, they don't have legal knowledge, and most of the time it's like I think we have a good number of female lawyers as well. And I personally think, being a lawyer and being a female lawyer, I think this is now the responsibilities of these girls who are saying that we are the advocate of women rights. So they have to give the legal knowledge to other women residing in Pakistan, in any part of the Pakistan, especially in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. So they have to volunteer their time and knowledge to these women so that they can know about their rights, their inheritance rights, so they can know that they have the such acts that they can protect themselves from the harassment in the workplaces. But the challenge remains: weak implementation and lack of awareness. And a laws no one knows about it is a law, which means it doesn't exist. If no one knows about it, it means for me the law even didn't exist. If so, let's talk now. Let's move toward another important pillar that I want to include here: women in economy. Women in economy. So only 22%, I have already mentioned that figure, only 22% of women in participate in the labor force. But this number is a lie in a way. Why it's a lie? I say why it's a lie, because it doesn't count the millions of women working at home, home-based workers. 65% of them are women. That's 88.52 million workers. They are embroidering, they are making pickles, they are stitching clothes. They are the backbone of our informal economy. And you know why I have mentioned this number? Either I can talk about that our women are deprived of workers. I'm just telling you that our women, they have this they have skills, they have knowledge, they can do anything, but just they are not recognized. Our society has yet not accepted them. And if once we accepted them, or once we accepted and their expertise, we will definitely move toward the progress. And we need to recognize them. Yes, we need to recognize them, register their work, include them in safety nets, give them social security. Their work is not just a hobby, it's an economy. So, yes, and we have to include them, we have to recognize them, we have to register them. And when we talk about when we have touched on honor killing earlier, why do they walk free? I have already told you that most of the criminals and convicts, they walk free. So why they walk free? The problem is lies in the chaos and diyat laws. But let me tell you, I'm not saying that the laws of Islam like chaos and diyat. Na, I not take it, don't take in that sense. Most of the people misunderstand this thing. So I'm telling you that the laws, mostly our laws that allows the victim families, the wali specifically, to pardon the killer. Most of the time you have seen that the kisas through kisas in diyat, they take some money and they just pardon the killer. Mostly it's the right with the wali. The wali has the right to pardon the killer. So since as we saw, the killer is often the brother or father. So who is the wali? So who is the wali of the woman? So the killer himself or his accomplice. The result, what happened in that sense? Justice is denied, and the criminals and the killers walk freely. So in that case, where the father, where the husband, where the wali of the person, where the wali of the person are where the wali of the person are killers. So in that sense, the state itself becomes the wali of the girl. So that's a very important thing. Most of our women, even most, I will say, most of our legal persons even don't know that in the presence of a specific wali, the state become the wali for the girl, for the minor, or for for the person who had suffered. Now the state will take the revenge of that person. So what must change? We must make the honor killing a non-compoundable crime. That means the state prosecute the killer, regardless of what the family says. Murder is murder. It should not be pardonable. And I want to include that in same, the rape is rape and it should not be pardonable. And even in Islam, if we talk about, Islam has even allowed the woman to kill her rapist. Even she don't need the permission of anybody. She has the right to kill her rapist anywhere she found him. So early marriages, this is just a very important issue. And recent in the past day, no, I think they have made laws. Yes, they have made the early marriage law, and that was too debatable in Pakistan. So let's think in that 40% of girls in Pakistan are married by the age of 18. 40%, such a big ratio. The laws is confusing, really confusing. They have confused the laws between the modern laws and the Islamic laws. They do not even find a way. They're there. The constitution making, the lawmakers, the law implementation, they all are confused on this thing. The minimum age is 16 for girls and 18 for boys. Our demand is simple. It's really simple. We want to standardize the age at 18 for everyone. Criminalize early marriages with the clear punishment. A child should be a student. We demand that a child should be a student. She should not be a bride. So let's talk about another important thing that I want to highlight here. Minority women. They are the women that suffer the most. And we don't even, we called ourselves that we are too Islamic, and we are the persons that we call ourselves Islamic, and we call ourselves that we are the ambassadors of Islam. But we even don't even talk about, even I myself, I attended too many seminars, I attended too many, listened to too many scholars, but I have never heard anybody talking about the minorities' rights, specifically talking about the rights of minority women. No one talk about that. So we cannot talk about all women if we leave our minority sisters. They are estimated 25 forced conversion of minority girls to Islam every month. Such a big ratio. 20, that's a proven fact. 25 girls every month. They are forced to convert to Islam, or they are forced, and they are telling that we will take your jobs and everything if you don't convert to Islam. So that's not our beautiful religion is teaching us. Hindu women face a huge problem. There is no law to register Hindu marriages. There is no law. There's zero laws to register uh, Hindu marriages. Without a registered marriage, what happens to her right? Tell me what happens to her right. When your marriage is not even registered, what happened to her rights? What happened to her inheritance? Her children, what happened to her? If she has not even registered her right, her marriage, no one is there to give her rights because there is no law. And there was one positive step, the recognition of the rights of transgender citizens to the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act. So finally, we have recognized the transgender that is also they come in the minority community, although they should not come in the minority community, but we are not giving them their rights. So we have the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act. So it shows us we can make progress. Yes, we can. We must extend that some protection to all minority women as well. So respect is a right. Yes, respect is a right. This brings us back to respect. What does respect means? What does respect mean to you people? What does respect mean to me? It means walking down the street without being harassed. It means speaking in a meeting and being heard, not interrupted. Just because you are women, you are interrupted. What does respect denied look like? It is the media. It's the media that's objectifying women in dramas and aids. It's the tradition where in many homes the women eat last after the men and children have finished. And then there is the jirga system. Always, I have already write about it a lot. That in jirga system, like I personally, my area is working. I'm mostly working on political mobilization of women because I personally believe that when women are the decision making table, so they better can protect other women as well. So there is jirga system, the illegal courts that verdicts punishing women for crimes they didn't even commit, like honor killing or marrying of their own choice. And women are never represented at this decision. So, how can a system that exclude us to judge us fairly? That we are not even there and the men are sitting and they're making decision for us. So, how can we accept that? How can that be fair? That never can be fair. What is not valued? So, finally, the recognition. What is not valued is never prioritized. Think about it. Who fights every day to stay in school? We don't see her struggle. Who works 18 hours a day at home cooking, cleaning, raising children with no salary, no pension, no day off? We don't even count her in GDP. Who walks mile to fetch water so her family can survive? She is invisible. Recognition means acknowledging that unpaid work. It means counting women in the census properly. It means seeing the invisible women. Most of and that is specifically happening in our KP side. जो हमारा खैबर पख्तूनख्वा है मोस्टली इट हैपेंस देयर. हमारे पास कितनी ज्यादा औरतें हैं जिस तरह हम देख सकते हैं ना अफगानिस्तान दैट सेम इन्फ्लुएंसिंग अवर एरियाज एज वेल. जो वहाँ हो रहा है जो हमारे एरिया पे है दे ऑल आर कनेक्टेड. सो दैट्स आल्सो हैपनिंग हियर. सो now it's time for message I want to give to you people. I want to call you people for action. What all of you can do, what each of us can do. Enough is talking about the problems that are prevailing, but let me tell you that like what each of us can do. So we have looked at the big picture. It feels overwhelming. You might be thinking, Aisha, I'm just one person, what can I do? like, yeah, you all will be thinking that I'm just one person, what can I do? Yeah, everybody says that, and everybody thinks that. So here what we can do: educate yourself and others, share about the laws, talks about the laws at your dinner table. If you see harassment, speak up. If you know a woman being denied her inheritance, contact her to a lawyer or the national commission, or simply tell her that you have the laws that can protect you. When someone says girls don't need education, challenge them. When you see a woman eating glass, invite her to eat with you. And thanks the women in your life for their invisible labor, acknowledge it. Use social media, demand implementation, demand justice. So, in the end, I want to share with you people my vision, the vision that I have, the vision for which I live, and the vision for which I working. So, my vision is simple, and I hope today it becomes your vision too. And inshallah, I think, and I hope that it will become your vision too. My vision is a Pakistan where every woman knows her right, even not just a woman, where every human knows their right with dignity, and is seen, heard, and valued. Because they are not just numbers. I thrive at you today. They are our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, and our friends. Right? Rights, respect, and recognition, not for some women, but for all women. So thank you so much for listening me. So I'm Aisha Farooq. Please share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. And if there's any questions, so please go ahead. I am more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Okay, so there is a question which came in the comment box. Does poverty play an important role in early marriages? Aisha Farooq, if you can address that question.
That's a good question. I have already addressed that question as well. Yes, poverty plays an important role in early marriages, and but most of all, I have already told you now that if a family in Pakistan and our areas you see around, surrounding you people, that most of them, if sometimes a girl, there's a family that earn a minimum or something, like most of the time आपने देखा होगा ना कि अगर एक घर है ना जो तकरीबन कुछ अच्छा कमाते हो और दे कैन अफोर्ड टू चिल्ड्रन, मतलब आप वो एफर्ट कर सकते हो कि वो दो बच्चों को स्कूल भेजे, तीन बच्चों को स्कूल भेजे, regardless of the fact they always give priority to the male kid जो उनका होता है ना, they send them to schools. उसका रीजन ये है कि हमारी जो सोसाइटी प्रिवेलिंग जो सोसाइटी, उसका कॉन्सेप्ट ये बना हुआ है कि लड़कियां जो है वो पुराने पराए घर की होती है, वो चली जाएगी, वो हमारे लिए क्या करेगी. एंड मोस्टली द थिंग इज दैट एंड में उन्हीं पेरेंट्स के काम जो है वही बेटियां ही आती है. And they are sorry to say there will be male person as well. I'm not disrespecting anybody, but I'm telling you कि आखिर में बेटियां ही होती है जो उनके काम आती है और उनकी जो है वो खिदमत करती है. एंड फिर उनको आखिर में अफसोस भी होता है कि वाई जब वो उनकी बेटियां जो है वो हरेस होकर या मार पीट का कर जो है वो वापस आती है, या उनके हस्बैंड की डेथ हो जाती है और उसके बाद जब वो अकेली रह जाती है और उनके बच्चों के लिए उनके पास कुछ नहीं होता, तो फिर उनको भी आखिर में अफसोस करना पड़ता है कि आदर वी हैव टू एम्पावर अवर डॉटर. अगर हमने उसको एम्पावर किया होता तो that would be great. So yes, poverty plays a major role. इस वजह से तो पाकिस्तान में हमारे पास जो है वो अर्ली मैरिजेस जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा है, क्योंकि हमारे पास पॉवर्टी रेशो ज़्यादा है, जिसकी वजह से लोग इस चीज़ को अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन मैं यहाँ पर फिर भी मैं कहूँगी कि जो प्रिवेलिंग जो स्ट्रक्चर है, हमारी सोसाइटल स्ट्रक्चर है, जो कल्चर है वो ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंसेबल है एज कम्पेयर टू पॉवर्टी. थैंक यू.
All right, thank you so much, Aisha Farooq. I think there are no more questions left in the comment box. So now we are going to end this session. First of all, I will thank our respected speaker, Aisha Farooq, for such an insightful and inspiring session. So let's summarize the session. Today's discussion reminded us that respect, dignity, and safety are not privileges for women, they are fundamental rights. Whether we talk about women from minority communities, the protection of transgender individuals, or laws against harassment, the message remains the same. Every human deserves equality, justice, and respect. On this occasion of International Women's Day, let us not only celebrate women but also commit ourselves to building a society where every woman feels safe, valued, and empowered. Change begins with awareness, but it continues through our actions. Thank you to our respected speaker and to everyone who joined this important conversation. Thank you all. Now you guys can leave the session. The recording will be on YouTube page or YouTube official Marvin's page. You can hear this on YouTube wherever you want. So Allah Hafiz everyone.